bow, the stars start to sway. The echoes of time won't let me away. Whisper my name, it fades in the wind. I'm chasing a ghost that I've always been. The edge is a circle, no start and no end. Whisper my name, it fades in the wind.
And ladies and gentlemen, cats and kittens, patriots, privacy purveyors, welcome to the podcast, and thank you. I'll let you know right now. All right, this is my dog Harvey, and for some reason now he wants to be a show dog. He usually is just real chill. He lays over there by the comfy chair, but I don't know, for some reason he woke up. And yeah, G Taurus, did you like the song? Did you like the intro song? Here's how it worked. I wrote the lyrics, I pumped them into an AI, and it kicked out the song. It took me about 40 seconds. Well, it took me about a half hour to write the lyrics, and then about 40 seconds to kick it out. That is the very first go of it, and the very first time that we're playing it. We were talking about it, me and Belle were talking about it, and I was like, everybody's screwed. Anybody who's not using AI right now, I think you're screwed. Because I could never do anything like that, but let's call it 60 seconds for the time it took me to grab it, rename it, and shove it over. 60 seconds. That's how long it took to write that song. And yeah, if you're not using this stuff, you better learn. That's all I gotta say, man, is that you better learn. Our own coder guy, and he was absolutely against vibe coding. He just simply was not going to have vibe coding. I can't do it. I have to write every damn thing. I asked him for a new visualizer because I'm using Phase 9, and when we bring on the Beats guys from like Waveforce and all that stuff, I like to have a visualizer. Yeah. And I said, I don't like Phase 9. Make me a better one. And he said, have you seen ChatGPT 5? And I said, I have not. And why don't you punch it in? It took him about 2 hours, and I got a brand new visualizer sitting on this system right now, about 2 hours. I don't know how long Phase 9 was in development, but I told him it needs to do exactly this. I need it to kick this out in this window, and I need about 10 random frames that'll scroll through them as I go, so that I can just simply capture the window on Streamlabs OBS, bring it over here, and we're good. And it took him about 2 hours. So if you're not using this, you'd better learn. That's all I got to say about that one. No,
and you know what? We're not gonna get a warning for an impending copyright claim because you wrote it.
No copyright hit. It's literally my song, and I went and I put it through all the scrubbers to see what it borrowed from, and even the scrubbers came back and said, no, this is good. I mean, all music is kind of the same, a little bit the same. If you're talking about anything that's blues, typically it's written in 12-bar blues, and you can't exactly copyright or patent a GDA minor GDC, pattern. So you're always going to find something a little bit similar, but not exactly that. So it seems like as long as I write the lyrics, we can crank this right out, and it's fun. So maybe we'll change something up here, Belle. We'll put out Beats by Podcast. That might be funny right there. So yeah, we're gonna have it's gonna be an interesting discussion. Look, man, I'm concerned about what's gonna happen tomorrow with the Trump and Putin summit that's gonna be happening over there in Alaska. Yes, I'm concerned. I want to see about the concessions, because this is gonna be about concessions. Now, my first thought on this is, why is this our business? Because the Telegraph, I caught that this morning, and I'm pretty sure this is not something that should have been released, or it's just wild speculation, that suddenly the U.S. is going to give up rare earth mineral rights in Alaska so that Russia will stop attacking Ukraine. There is no, I didn't even put a video out on it. I talked to Jason. I said, dude, we're not even putting that out. All right. That is the wildest speculation. What benefit would that be to the United States to do something like that? It simply wouldn't. So we're pivoting it off. That's why I asked, hey, how about we do a crypto stream? And here we are. And it was a good night. Now, interestingly, for the folks that spend a lot of time over on crypto Twitter, such as myself, such as Bell and all that stuff, there is very little conversation that was going around. And today's downfall was directly related to the PPI, but yesterday's surge was also directly related to the PPI. We were supposed to come in at 0.2. We actually came in at 0.9, and that's massive. So I thought, let's just talk about it. First segment, man. All right, this is economics. This is deeper economics. You're more than welcome to go to sleep on this one. I don't blame you. And by the time I finish this, you're going to be well versed in what the PPI is, how important it is to every bit of economics that happens out here in the modern world. And if you think Bitcoin is immune because we're crypto, I got an ETF to sell you. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of leave it there. Before I start rambling, Belle, please take any questions, comments, concerns, observations. Go, go, go.
All right. So, Aaron Hopkins, are you excited for the midnight airdrop? If I remember right, you guys are ADA fans.
Are we ADA fans? I don't think in the life of this channel, bro, I've ever done an ADA video. So, and I'm not not much of an airdrop chaser. While I appreciate free money, usually it comes with strings attached. You got to sign in here, log in here, do this, and complete all these steps. This crypto, bro. All right, I immediately assume everybody is out to screw me. I don't care how authentic they seem. I assume that everybody's out to get me, and I don't click links in Web3. So if you happen to have my wallet address and drop money into it, I can't stop you from doing that. But if I have to give up and volunteer this information, my security is a hell of a lot more, my security and privacy is a hell of a lot more important to me than the $25 airdrop I might get, and I don't really care what chain it is.
Well, it's inevitable. People get airdrops. They immediately turn around and dump the tokens.
They should. Airdrop, look, man, that's past. All right. The whole airdrop for users, that's past. All right. All this stuff is past. And it still amazes me to this day that we still have channels and Coles, key opinion leaders, stupidest thing that's ever come out as every term, that we still have these people that are up there pushing for this stuff. It makes absolutely no sense to me. That is past. It was 2 years ago. I get it. It was great. Your channel was flying. Everybody was watching. Love, love, love. But that's over now. All right. It's a brand new Web3 that we're entering into here. And while I appreciate it, it ain't gonna be for me, man. Bell, carry on.
Political. Scott, do you know what's good for a hangover?
Hair of the dog, bro. Come on, you're a military guy, Jeff Fafa. You know what to do. You know what to do.
Yeah.
All right, hair of the dog, man. Come on. Don't pretend you're a civilian. I get that you were in the Air Force, so you were almost in the military, and I get that. But come on, dude. This is day one boot camp stuff, all right? Hair of the dog. Bell, go ahead.
All right, he goes on to say, yeah, drinking heavily the night before.
Yeah, and that's probably a good idea. It really is. Look, my morning starts at 4 a.m. Virtually every single day. Now today and on days like this, it starts even a little bit earlier because I want to make sure that I'm wide awake. I am looking at Forex Factory. That's it. That's where I'm tuned into. Today is PPI day. It is D-Day. We pump the day before and then we correct the day after depending on what those numbers are. And I'm a little bit surprised that more people aren't talking about this. So because you want us to do a crypto stream, I'm not going to do a blind crypto stream. I'm not going to say buy this, sell this. I ain't going to do that. All right. You're big boys out here. You're big boys, big girls. You're veterans of the crypto wars. But I want to tell you about this because it seems like we're the only people who really seem concerned about it. So with that, Bell, table whatever's left. The producer price index, guys, or the PPI, it is often overlooked, but it is an incredibly powerful economic indicator. Now we're going to dive into what it is, how it ties into inflation, and the ripple effects it has on financial markets. You're in crypto. We are a ripple effect. Now I'm going to aim to try to keep this maybe 10 minutes, but buckle up, all right, because we're talking economics. I'm going to make it as painless as possible. but I have to do this. So let's start at the I just got bit by a damn mosquito in my own studio. I just got bit by a mosquito for some reason. I need to grow hair. That'll stop. All right, let's start at the beginning, guys. And it's still there, little bastard. First off, what exactly is the PPI? All right, this is the Producer Price Index. It measures the average change over time in the selling prices received by domestic producers for their output. In simpler terms, it's like tracking inflation at the wholesale level before those costs hit your wallet at the grocery store or the gas pump. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics calculates it monthly, and it's been around since the early 1900s. It is evolving from what was once called the Wholesale Price Index. So how does it work? The BLS surveys thousands of businesses across industries. Think manufacturing, think mining, agricultural, think the service industry. And it asks about the prices they're getting for their goods and services. It's broken down into three main stages. Final demand. This is what producers sell to consumers, to businesses, or to exporters. Intermediate demand. This is goods used in further production. Pay attention, Jeff Fafa. And crude materials. These are raw input, like oil or wheat. The headline number you hear about is usually the final demand PPI, which excludes volatile food and energy prices in its core version to give a smoother picture. Now, for context, today, August 14th, 2025, the latest data released just this morning shows the PPI for July surged by 0.9% month over month. Guys, that is a massive jump, and it's driven by increases in both goods, like energy, like food, and services, such as transportation, warehousing. Year over year, producer prices are up around 2.5%, though that all commodities index from the Fed's data shows even higher levels, with the index hitting 262.5 in July, from about 258 earlier in the year. Now, this is important because it signals where inflation might be headed next. Now, let's connect the dots to inflation. Inflation, at its core, is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services rises, eroding purchasing power. I call it the McDonald's index. You guys have heard me talk about this a lot. Now, we hear about the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which tracks retail prices, what you and I pay. But PPI is a leading indicator for CPI. Why? Because producers don't eat cost increases. They pass them on. They always have. If raw materials like steel or semiconductors get pricier, manufacturers raise their prices to maintain margins, and their margins are razor thin. Wholesalers then hike their prices, and eventually retailers do the same. It's like a domino effect rippling through the supply chain. Think about it this way. PPI captures inflation at the factory gate, while CPI is at the checkout counter. Does that make sense? Now, historically, spikes in PPI have preceded CPI rises by a few months. For example, during the post-pandemic supply chain chaos, 2021-2022, PPI soared into double digits, foreshadowing the CPI peak of over 9%. Now, more recently, with energy prices fluctuating due to geopolitical tensions, ongoing issues in the Middle East or Europe, or shifts in green energy policies, PPI can flare up and warn of broader inflationary pressures. But it's not always a perfect predictor. Sometimes producers absorb cost through efficiencies or competition, so the pass-through isn't 100%. Bell, are you hearing that?
Yeah.
Okay, you go for it. 100%. Still, economists in the Federal Reserve watch PPI closely because it helps gauge whether inflation is transitory. That's short-lived, like a one-off oil shock, or if it's sticky. And what we mean by sticky is persistent. It's like wage spirals. If PPI keeps climbing, as it did in July 2025, with 0.9% pop, it could mean the Fed's battle against inflation isn't over yet. Core PPI, stripping out food and energy, rose 6%, 0.6%, sorry. It rose 0.6%, suggesting underlying pressures in services that are harder to tame. Now, this ties into the bigger inflation picture. Inflation erodes money's value. It affects everything from mortgage rates to grocery bills, and it could lead to policy responses, and it typically does. High PPI might signal demand pull inflation. Now, what that means is too much money chasing too few goods, or it could lead to a cost push, and that's rising input costs. Everything's more expensive to make. Now, in 2025, with AI-driven productivity gains in some sectors, but lingering supply bottlenecks in others, like semiconductors or rare earth metals, we're seeing a mixed bag. Now, the BLS even noted their ending calculations for 350 indexes due to underfunding, which might make tracking harder going forward. So let's just shift gears just a minute. I'm almost done, guys. All right, I know this is boring, but it matters. How does PPI affect the markets? I told you I'd get you there. All right, this is where it gets exciting or it gets nerve-wracking, depending on your portfolio. Financial markets are forward-looking beasts. They are obsessed with data releases like PPI because they influence expectations about interest rates, growth, and most importantly, about risk. So let's break it down by asset class real quick. Starting with stocks. Higher than expected PPI often spells trouble for equities. Why? It fuels fears of inflation, prompting the Fed to hike rates or to delay cuts. And that's exactly where we are right now, delaying cuts. Higher rates make borrowing costlier for companies, squeezing profits, and they make bonds more attractive relative to stocks. Now, tech-heavy indices like the NASDAQ are particularly sensitive because growth stocks rely on low rates for their valuations. Just look at today's reaction. Look at Bitcoin. After the July PPI data dropped, futures for the S&P 500 dipped 0.5% in pre-market trading as traders bet on a less dovish Fed at the next meeting. Bonds. Bonds are the canary in the coal mine. Treasury yields rise when inflation expectations climb because investors demand higher returns to offset eroding purchasing power. They're never going to lose. The 10-year Treasury yield might spike 10 to 20 basis points on a hot PPI print, as we saw just the last couple cycles. Now, in 2022, persistent PPI highs contributed to the bond market rout, with yields soaring above 4%. Conversely, if PPI cools like it did in late 2023 when it dipped below 1%, and anybody who was over in our market in 2023, particularly late 2023, you remember it. It can rally bonds and ease mortgage rates. Currencies, they get a workout too. A strong PPI can bolster the U.S. dollar as it signals a hawkish Fed, attracting foreign capital seeking higher yields. It's money into the country. That's what we try to do here, man, right? Business for everybody. Emerging market currencies often weaken in response, exacerbating their own inflation woes. Ask Japan, ask China, ask India. Now, gold, the classic inflation hedge, it might rally on PPI spikes, though it's complicated by rate expectations. Higher rates can weigh on non-yielding assets like gold. Commodities are directly linked. PPI components for crude can drive oil, metal, and ag prices. If producer costs rise, it might loop back into further inflation, creating a feedback cycle. And don't forget Forex and crypto. That's our market, guys. Bitcoin often trades like a risk asset because it is a risk asset. It's dipping on inflation fears, but sometimes it acts as a hedge. Sometimes, but not today. Now, markets don't just react to the number. It's about surprises. Economists, they poll expectations. That was yesterday. We forecasted a 0.2% rise versus the actual 0.9%. And deviations cause volatility. The VIX, Wall Street's fear gauge, can spike, and it did. Now, in a broader sense, sustained high PPI erodes consumer confidence. It slows spending, and it risks a recession if the Fed over-tightens. But if it's moderate, like the 2 to 3% range targeted implicitly by the Fed, it signals healthy growth. Now, I want to bring it home here because I know you guys are done. You don't want to hear about this. You don't care. I care. And it is my show. So I'm going to have my, I'm going to say my piece, Phil. That's all I got to say up there. But let me paint a real world picture. Now, imagine it's early 2025. Wasn't that long ago. The PPI had been tame, around 1 to 2%, helping the Fed cut rates twice. Stocks boomed, hitting all-time highs. Then, bam, supply disruptions from a trade spat with China push energy and goods prices up. PPI jumps, CPI follows, and suddenly rate cut bets evaporate. The Dow drops 500 points. Yields climb, pundits scream, stagflation. That's the power of PPI. It's not just a stat. It is a market mover. So the producer price index is more than dry data. It's a crystal ball for inflation, and it's a barometer for market sentiment. It shows us where costs are building, how they might inflate consumer prices, and why traders hang on every release. I'm up at 4 a.m. looking at that. 4 a.m. Now, as we sit here in August 2025 with that fresh 0.9% surge, it's a reminder that inflation's dragon isn't fully slain. Keep an eye on it. Whether you're an investor, a business owner, or you're just someone filling up your tank, knowledge is power, folks. Now, I appreciate you tolerating me on this one. I knew it was going to be long. I knew we were going to run people out, but it needed to be said. We continue to think that we live over here in a bubble, over here in the crypto world. We have nothing to do with trad, right? We have nothing to do with Wall Street because we're crypto. But as soon as those ETFs came in, and we talked about this years ago, Bell and I talked about this years ago. We threw up the fireworks. We threw up everything. You better get smart on PPI, CPI, inflation, the feds, the politics behind it all. You better get real smart, and I mean right now. Yes, they'll pump it, but you've got to know how to deal with this market now. And I think you got a real good. I think you got a real good taste of that today. What's it going to do next month? I don't know. Is it even going to be released next month? Now the BLS is talking about not releasing jobs data. They were talking about that was the whole thing. We're only going to release them quarterly instead of monthly. Everybody relies on this number. So if they go that way, what would to stop them from releasing the PPI and the CPI quarterly as opposed to monthly?
Nothing.
So, anyway, yeah, I know I ran some of you guys off, but I do appreciate you indulging me. This is very, very important to me.
We do actually have several very important questions, and most of them are coming in from New Type.
No, serve them up.
All right. Do you give credence to Truflation? They're a prices tracker, but suited to Web3 bros. They're tracking CPI at 1.9% currently. They've always been accurate since COVID.
Yeah, I do. Look, man, I take everything into account, bro. I'm gonna go here because I'm talking to New Type. I take everything into account. And yes, Truflation is also one of those numbers. Now, for me personally, you ain't gonna like it. I'm gonna say it. What I would be doing, you know what? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I'd be doing, man. Look, whatever gets you through the day. New Type, you and I agree on some things. We wildly disagree on some other things. I'll fix you. I got time. But in this one, yeah, I don't think people quite understand how much influence traditional finance has on this. Not so much on alt tokens. All right, alt tokens are dust, and they're not coming back. All right, I don't care what Ethereum does. When your token is down 95%, it recovers 7%. You're not up, bro. All right, you're not up. You're in a better mood, but you're not up. And there's no price that Ethereum can go to that's ever going to recover most of this shit. So when we're talking these, and the reason that Bella and I decided if we come back and start doing crypto streams, it's wide crypto, man. It's not Cosmos. You guys know what I'm into over there, talking them to death. There's no point in going on. But I want to stay in top 10s because these are the things that really, really move markets. But you have to know what really, really moves them. And that seems to be the thing that we're missing. People are still living years and years behind, bro. They still think it's just people buying and selling, but you have to know why they might buy or they might sell. Things like the PPI, it's a real good indicator, because if you saw that number and you jump real quick, 20x short, you're very, very happy right now. All right. The tools you need to be successful out here are still out here. You just gotta do a little bit more research and start figuring it out. That's why I did that monologue, and I'm sorry for dragging it out so long. But I made cha-ching today. Not because I'm so damn smart, but because I know what I'm looking for. And when I see it, I move. I pounce. There's a reason that I keep cash handy. I move right now. I pounce right now. I'm in, I'm out, I'm a ghost. And that's how I continue to survive and thrive in this market. Up or down, it really doesn't matter to me. If it's going up, great. I don't have to do shit. If it's going down, I have to do a little bit more work, but I'm going to profit on it. You're going to have to get your heads right on this. Anyway, hope that answers the question. Bo, carry on.
All right, so New Type again. There's also the theory that corporations will eat the inflation and not pass them on to the consumer because currently the customer is way weaker than they were back in 2021.
Yeah.
I'll actually take this one.
You take it. Do it wise. Pull up another song. Go ahead.
New Type, go find a receipt from you buying groceries last year and go and buy the same exact things this year. Corporations may be putting out that they're going to eat the costs of inflation, but no, in actuality, they are pushing that onto the consumer.
But you know, it is. I'm gonna take over the show. No, that's a good question, bro. And yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about this. Me, Bell, John, Jason, everybody. We spent a lot of time talking about this because I have some of the same opinion. Do you think, and this is really, really important, do you think the goodwill that you could win from your consumers moving forward? Do you think the goodwill is going to be more profitable for you 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, as opposed to just playing the same game that we've always been playing? Nobody will blame you for raising prices. Not a lot of people know what the PPI is, but the people who do know what the PPI is understand that you're going to have no choice but to. Your margins are thin. Now, if you find these companies that have the thick cash reserves that can weather it, sure, they can keep their prices stagnant, or they should be going out advertising the shit out of it. Nope, we're not going to roll this onto you. We're going to eat it, all right, because we want you as long-term customers. We're not vampires, all right. We want you here forever. So a lot of them can that can absorb it. Should I understand where you're going with that, and I've thought about that a long time. But I think the bulk of these companies out here are so over-levered. And you know they are, bro. Nobody wants to sit on a cash position. They want to put it in the market. They want to get these big-ass returns on this stuff. I was talking to somebody last night. Bella and I went out to
God.
karaoke. And I was talking to somebody because I was out front hitting my little vape. And
they won't allow vaping in that particular bar.
But they were trying to sell me on a stock with a guaranteed 38.9% year over year guaranteed return. 38.9% guaranteed. And there's one guy that in here that's going to tell me all about it, and he's going to show me bank statements and yeah. Do you guys believe out there in the audience right now that there's a guaranteed 38.9% year over year? Guaranteed return. And all you gotta do is pull your profits out. You gotta have to leave your base. And has nobody fucking heard of Bernie Madoff? I mean, that's it. He's just a forgotten ghost now. Like, that shit didn't happen before. I didn't even argue. This is how beat up I am. I didn't even argue with her. I said, yeah, you should do that. I mean, what am I going to do? Do I have to explain what a Ponzi scheme is? I mean, are you this far gone? So, I'm sorry, man.
New type, was it Jordan Belfort? No,
it
no.
could have been, bro. I don't know.
With our luck, we could have stumbled upon Richard Hart and not known it. I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been Hart walking out there. Hey, let me tell you about Hex, or our new thing, which is called Super Hex. It's just like Hex, but it's super. It could have been that. All right, Belle, one more, and then we're going to go to break. We're going to move on to our next segment. I ran everybody out. I knew I was going to do it.
You didn't run everybody out.
No problem. It's important information. And if you cannot understand this, I didn't explain it right, message me. I will explain it a different way. I will make it as simple as I have to. This is information that you need. If you want to be successful out here in this space, you need this information, and I am more than happy to share it with you a different way. All right, whatever you need, man. Belle, go.
All right, new type. Well, companies release their earnings quarterly. Should we have companies report earnings monthly?
You know, and I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I will. If it's a company that I'm invested in, I want these earnings reports. Yes, I want them monthly. I want it every single damn month. And if the BLS shifts over to doing CPI and PPI and all of that quarterly, you can't expect more from a company. But I would ask, there's a really big reason why you went quarterly instead of monthly. You're hiding something at this point, man. And I'd get really, really concerned about that. So
I mean, as far as the company we have, I would have no problem issuing a monthly statement.
No, and I got you right now. Okay, for the month of August, we've earned zero. All right,
yeah.
We're at a one hell of a deficit, and it's been like that for all of the preceding months.
And we have spent a little over $19,000 this month.
Just this month, yeah, man. It's not been a great month. All right, anyway, guys, if you could please, we're gonna take 5. We're gonna come back. All right, got another one for you here, man. We're gonna talk what you just saw today and what it does to crypto and what it does directly. So we're going to come back. We're going to discuss this. I want to do a money stream. We haven't done one for a while, and I understand that we're getting into more of the philosophy of economics, but you need to know this shit. All right, you need to know it. And if you do, thank you for tolerating me. If you don't, I hope you learned something. But anyway, we're going to be right back. I need another chill song. I went ahead and served it up. Hope you enjoy. Legendary artist. Hope you enjoy, guys. We're going to be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, patriots, privacy purveyors, Dad, I saw him. Welcome back to the podcast, and thank you. A couple of show notes before we go on. One, the camera works on Sigia Cloud now. I cannot tell you how proud I am of this. That means inside of the app, you hit camera, take pictures, you take videos. It never touches your phone, ever. There's no other program, no other system in the entire world that does this. And what it means is that you now have complete and total privacy. We can't even see this shit. So whatever you're putting up there belongs to you, you alone. It's never going to be anywhere else. It's not exposed to the great wide world. And I understand that this is kind of an underselling kind of thing. People ain't going to care. They don't really care. Privacy is not a product. You can't sell privacy, but you can sell utility. And I think that that is one hell of a nice product. And we have managed to, you know what, the funding we need to really start marketing this has been secured. And it cost me. It cost me big. But I think it's worth it because I'm about the ethos. I've always been about the ethos of privacy. Ask my fucking dad. He is literally on the stream. And the other show note is I'm down to 176 pounds now. I still haven't got a... My blood sugar is good. My A1C is fantastic. It came in at like 5.2. So I lowered it from 9.7 to 5.2, and I did it in just a little bit under 90 days. So I'm feeling good about myself. I've lost some weight. I hope you guys notice this. And yeah, we've been real happy. But I gotta get into this next bit, and you guys probably aren't gonna like it, and I'm probably gonna lose my shit a little bit. And the reason why is because Bella and I have been talking about this for 3 fucking years, and it seems like we were talking just talking into the vacuum. Because suddenly, now that you're seeing it come true, suddenly this is a big deal. Suddenly people are coming up in this total thing. The problem with us, the problem with me and Belle and what we've been doing in our show and all that stuff is that we've been wildly early. And when you are as early on this stuff as we are, and new type, I'm pretty sure you can, back me up on this, even though we fight on every other damn thing. When you're as early as we are, you're just insane. You don't get it. You don't understand crypto, and you don't understand the ethos and what we're really about. But see, I do understand what we're really about, because I was in this shit before most of you guys even had a goddamn driver's license. All right. I've been in this. I lost my ass in the 2001 .com bust. I was there, man. All right. I lost everything. Dad, you did too. I know, because you weren't paying a lot of attention, but you got shellacked along with me, because bubbles are what bubbles are. So the thing that kept me in crypto and blockchain this entire time was ethos. All right. It's about, I believed in it. I believed in new money. I believed in doing something different. I believed in sovereignty of money. And that's it. That's what I believed in. And we absolutely destroyed that. Now I'm going to get into it. All right, I'm going to give you another little ramble here, and I appreciate you indulging me. But this is, for what it's worth, this is the show I always wanted to do. Exactly the format that we've been doing for this last bit, or that we've been doing on these last week and a half, couple weeks since we brought Jason on. He dialed me in. He said, you know what, you got to do you, bro. Belle said the same thing forever. Belle said the same thing. She said, you have just simply got to do you. And I was like, yeah, but look, I want to, people are enjoying it. They kind of like it. We're not doing anything, but people seem to be enjoying it. And the problem is that I wasn't. All right. The problem was that I wasn't enjoying it anymore. It was too much struggle trying to find ways to reframe the exact same discussion. So, yes, we pivoted hard. We lost audience. Our Discord is dead, everything. But I'm happy now. And you got to be happy to do your thing. Anyway, Belle, before I go on and on, questions, comments, get them quick.
All right. So, new type, you guys are right. Corporations will definitely raise prices. I'm just seeing at what point customers finally rally and say enough is enough.
And that's the tough part.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always the tough part, man, is...
The only corporation I know of that isn't jacking up their prices is Arizona Iced Tea.
Arizona Iced Tea. It's never moved prices, but look at their cash reserve, for fuck's sake.
But, okay,
God.
so the people that they distribute to, your gas stations and every other place, they're definitely adding a bump onto that 99 cents that they're charged by Arizona.
Yeah, you know what? Someone do me a favor. Tell me the price to buy Arizona Iced Tea per can right now. Tell me what it is. Now, I'm going to guess $1.19. I'm going to guess $1.19, which doesn't sound like much, but that's a 20% markup over where Arizona Iced Tea always is.
Actually, call to action. Why don't you guys take pictures whenever you see cans of Arizona Iced Tea that Arizona is selling for 99 cents? take a picture of the pricing that is available at your local supermarkets and gas stations and post them on our Discord or tag us on
I would
Twitter.
love to see that. There's two things those are the two things that drive me as far as the CPI goes, Consumer Price Index. Arizona iced tea, the McDonald's double cheeseburger. I would love to see those. And if you could just take a picture, don't say you don't go to McDonald's. I don't anymore, but it's not by choice. It's by necessity. Because if not, I'd be sitting there holding a goddamn McDonald's double cheeseburger and stuff in my face as I'm going through this shit.
No,
We
you
would love
wouldn't.
to. Yeah, I would love. I would love to see the price of a McDonald's double cheeseburger, which 5 years ago was 99 cents, and what is the price of Arizona iced tea? Because if you really want to get the pulse of the community and the people, that's you, that's me, that's the people who are not outside of the pricing scheme, like your politicians and all that stuff. Show me the price. Put it on the podcast Discord. All right, look, man, we'll do a rally or a raffle or something like that. I will pay you to do it because we want more engagement over on the Discord too. Anyway, quick, Belle.
All right, so new type. My unicorn senses are tingling. What if Sigia could market this to OnlyFans models? They would kill to be able to send their pics in a private way. We've already talked about this.
You don't think we've talked about it, bro? Look, I'm going to go big screen on this one, man. You don't think we talked about this? You know what? You know why Facebook became Facebook? Exclusivity. That was it. That's the thing that drove Facebook in that community more than anything else, was exclusivity. They leaned into it. They leaned into it hard. They got their massive user base. They're good, solid, we're devout, loyal user base. And then they released it up to the big wide world. Imagine what an OnlyFans model could do when she takes out her phone that has the camera that is on mine right now, that you take a picture, you shoot a video, it only exists in one place ever. And the only people who could ever see it are the people that you choose to share it with. Now, let's make this a little better, new type. Let's sweeten this up a little bit. We're a forensic environment. That means the only person who actually owns that data is the person who uploaded it on the blockchain, verified with a wallet. It is a 100% forensic environment. So if this model, we always call them models, but you're not a model, but hey, whatever gets you through, whatever helps you sleep when your head hits the pillow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hinder wrote a song about that, by the way.
They did. But if for some reason we can't stop a screen capture, I know you were asking me about that, new type, and it's really not a direction that we're going to go, and let me explain why. The hardest thing to do out here is distribute. That's it. In tech, the hardest thing to pull off in tech is distribution. So if this lonely OnlyFans model released an exclusive video to one person, 2 people, 5 people, and for some reason they did a screen grab of this, which they can do because we did not build in the tech to stop them from doing it, and then they sold it or marketed it, guess what happens when it goes to a court of law? You can prove beyond the shadow of a doubt, verified by the blockchain, that you are the original owner of this video and you did not give consent to sell it out. So for every single dollar that they made on your back, I just got that. On your back. You got it, Val? OnlyFans, on your back.
Oh.
For every single dollar that you made, it's about to become your dollar. They are literally doing distribution for you. They're literally doing distribution for you. So you're going to want to get that out to as many people as you can to get them to sell it, to get them to profit on it, because that part is not private. Only our part is private. Take them to court and you're going to win every time. Not some of the time, all of the time. You could literally turn the entire world into your distribution platform because you own it, you control it, you did not give authorization. And through Sigia, our app, the only way you would ever be able to do it is with a screen grab. We're not going to let you download them unless the person authorizes you to do it. Typically, when you're going to share a file, it's going to be shared as a viewer, unless you're going to share it to them as an owner. There's nothing they can do about it. They don't have the original. It's not affecting the blockchain at all. It's actually kind of a beautiful system. It's very, very clever. So yeah, man, we would be the absolute hit for OnlyFans. And if we got them, we ain't even doing this shit anymore. We're done. All right, we got it. We're good. We're up there. We just got a $28 billion valuation for the little app that could. So yeah, it'd be a bit of a different conversation. Anymore, one more, Bell. I do want to get to this piece. I want to talk about what I want to talk about here.
Sofa Ninja, Scott, currently when I take a picture or video, it goes to my Apple Cloud account.
Mhm.
So are you saying when I do that inside my Sigia app that Apple won't see it or can track it?
Nope. We intercepted the camera and we intercepted the path. If you don't want it to go to your phone, it'll never go to your phone. So not only are we protecting you from Apple, from Google, from all of the greatest spies on the planet, but we're also a space saver app. So if you want it simply to go up to your own personal private cloud, your own, it's this shit, man. It's that battery acid Jack Daniels. Yeah, if you want to go up to your own personal cloud, videos, any object storage, say you have to do a KYC thing. You know, people say take a picture of your ID. If you do it, nobody's ever going to see it unless you release it to them. That's exactly what I'm saying, Sofa Ninja. And it's done, babe. It's done. You can probably see it on the next release. Please test it for us, Bell.
I'm gonna add I'm gonna add a note to that. Please test it for us. If you guys are taking naughty pics, please, for the love of all that is holy, don't share them with me. I don't want to see that.
Her user ID is Bella the Prod. That's Bella the Prod. Bell, anybody's gonna be able to find you. It ain't that damn hard right now. Bella the Prod, and yeah, she's a dirty girl. Anyway, carry on. One more, and then I'm going to go ahead and say my piece here.
Wow. After I just got, thrown under the bus by you? Yeah,
That's
I don't think
gift.
so.
It's my gift.
Okay, so channel that. After I have to go to an old people's home, Scott won't even change my dependent?
No, I'm not going to put you in an old folks home. You know what? We're going to do the Inuit thing. All right. I'm going to put you on an ice floe. We're going to break it and we're just going to send you out to sea and let nature take its course.
We could
like a sailor. All right. Like a sailor. Your dad. I mean, I don't know. You want to go out that way.
Alternatively, we could hire a young Navajo that is too stupid to know any better to ride out with him into the desert and, lay him out gently and give him a kiss on the forehead and tell him goodbye.
No, we don't want that. Ride him. You know what? We'll find one of these OnlyFans models, Dad, and we'll take you out in the middle of the desert, and she will just ride you till you flatline. And that's the way to go right there, man. It's just this wonderful sensation, and then walk into the lake, man. I got you, Pop. All right, I absolutely have you. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna say my piece here. All right. Now, there was a time, I'm getting the ethos here. I'm going to lose whoever's left, but this is the show I've always wanted to do. This is the style that I've always wanted to do. It's always been about ethos for me, guys. Crypto, blockchain technology, not making money. That's great, and it's easy. All right, anybody can do this shit. I'm literally sending out videos on Sigia Cloud to Sigia testers saying, I'm shorting this, I'm longing this, this is what I'm doing. But I want to make sure that doesn't blow back on me, so I'm using Sigia Cloud. But you know why? Because you can't prove it was me. But it's always been about ethos for me, guys. And there was a time when Bitcoin, the big daddy, the big orange, didn't give a damn what trad markets were doing. Now, back in the day, and this is way back in the day, most of you guys were still, I want to use that Gary Busey line from that terrible movie with Keanu Reeves. But most of you guys were shitting in your hands and wiping it on your face. But I'm talking 2010, 2011, even up to 2016. All right. Bitcoin was its own wild animal. It moved when it wanted. It moved how it wanted. One day it's up 20% for no reason. And the next it's tanking because some random exchange in Tokyo got hacked. But it wasn't sitting there watching the Dow or waiting for Jerome Powell to mumble something about rates. It was the outsider. It was the rebel. It was the alternative. Now, fast forward to today. We wake up to this PPI print, and it's supposed to be a nice, calm, soothing Enya type of 0.2%. and instead it explodes to 0.9%. Now, guys, that's not a little oopsie. That is a market grenade. Wholesale inflation. The cost before it even hits your cart, it just went nuts. Services are up 1.1%. Goods are up 0.7%. And vegetables, 40% higher. 40%. That's not inflation. That is a hostage situation in the produce aisle. And almost instantly, Bitcoin gets smacked in the mouth. Why? Because crypto invited TradFi to the dance. And when those spot Bitcoin ETFs launched, everybody celebrated. Everybody but us celebrated. Finally, Wall Street's money was coming in. Pensions, endowments, IRAs, all able to buy in without touching an exchange. Legitimacy. Liquidity. The whole 9 yards. But here's the hangover. You hook Bitcoin up to Wall Street, you inherit Wall Street's problems. You cannot bring everything from there to here without here becoming there. Now, here's the chain reaction. Bad economic data drops, like today's PPI blowout. Stocks dump, bonds move, the dollar jumps. ETF portfolio managers, they hit risk off mode and they start rebalancing. Bitcoin, the big daddy, gets sold right along with tech stocks and right along with growth plays. It's not that Bitcoin suddenly became worse at being Bitcoin. It's that the new crowd holding it reacts to every little Fed headline and inflation print. Now, I want you to remember when Bitcoin was supposed to be a hedge against inflation. Right now, in the short term, it's acting more like a high beta tech stock. It moves more than the NASDAQ on the same news. PPI runs hot, and Bitcoin doesn't just dip. You get those great big-ass long red candles that we all love so much. And we've seen it all year. Scroll out. Help me out here. Fact check me right this second. January CPI comes in hot. Bitcoin was down 7% in 1 day. June. All the way back in June. I know it's a long time ago, guys. The Fed says no rate cuts anytime soon. And Bitcoin and the S&P are falling in sync like they practiced it. So, yes, you wanted mainstream. You got it. But now we are living in the same weather system as everything else. When trad sneezes, crypto catches the flu. And right now, inflation is sticky. The feds are not cutting rates. Expensive money is here to stay, and it's here to stay for a while. And that's going to squeeze Wall Street and the blockchain alike. So here's the real question. Is Bitcoin still your inflation hedge, or is it just another line item in your 401k? Because in this new ETF world, the answer might decide whether you're buying the next dip or whether you're watching from the sidelines. So I'm going to ask you guys, do you think Bitcoin should have stayed outside the traditional system, or was getting ETFs, was that the right move? Is crypto still a hedge against inflation, or has it just become another Wall Street asset? When macro data like PPI comes out hot, do you buy the dip or do you wait for the dust to settle? Now, I'm going to go Occam's razor here for just a second, guys, because you know I'm a big fan of Occam's razor. If Bitcoin is an inflation hedge and the PPI comes in hot like it did. And we're not talking a small margin. We're talking about a 400% miss. If Bitcoin is an inflation hedge, Bitcoin should have soared today. Absolutely soared. But what did it do? What did it do? That's Occam's razor. The simplest answer is usually the correct one. And the simplest answer for me, when I apply Occam's razor to what we saw today, is that it is not an inflation hedge. It is simply a speculative asset, and it's another tool and toy for traditional finance. I get it, man. Crypto or Bitcoin, $2.5, $3 trillion market. That's massive. Who could even imagine such a thing? But TradFi, that ain't a lot of money to them. When you look at the value of the TradFi market versus just the Bitcoin market. And it's all about Bitcoin. You have to understand. Because we created this market and we baked the entire thing around Bitcoin. We baked it and built it around a speculative asset. So what do you think is going to happen? Now, if you trust it, if you trust the system, if you trust them to do the right thing, if you trust them to make the right moves, to make their investors wealthy, and this is your 401ks, these are your ETFs, if you trust them, you need to stay there. You need to not do a thing. It's all going to be well. Because what we know over the time, meaning as long as this stuff's been out there and been broadcast, markets always go up, right? Always. So if you believe in that, put your blinders on, man, and just sit there and ride it out. For me, not really something that I do. I go kind of a different direction. Anyway, just wanted to get that out, Bill. Hope you appreciated it. I know that we're kind of coming up on end of time. But yeah, let's finish it up. Let's talk to the audience. I don't want to talk at them. I want to talk with them, Belle. So please go ahead.
All right. So Political, back to the PPI. You know the one item that has not been affected? McGuire's Senate bean soup. Been 18 cents since 1977.
I am not even close to familiar with that, Belle. Are you close to familiar with that?
No.
God,
No.
You're a hillbilly, dude. Jeff, I mean, look, man, I know, man. I wear the collared shirt so you can't see the red of my neck, but I've never even heard of that, bro. All right, never even heard about. I'm gonna look it up.
Well, and okay,
I'm
yeah,
gonna look it up.
I'm from Tennessee. I mean, a lot of products that are available in Oklahoma and Texas are also in Tennessee, and no.
Nope, never heard of it, bro. But I will absolutely look it up right after the show. I promise I'm going to look into it. Belle, please carry on.
All right, Divergent Dan, TVs are hella deflationary too.
TVs, we talking about televisions?
He put in TVs like television, yeah.
Are hella deflationary. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the numbers. That's it. We got 10 people left. 10. I ran everybody out with this. Jason, we got to do something about it, man. Look, are we going to sell out? Or are we going to stick to doing what we want to do, man? Because that seems to be the only choice we have anymore. As soon as I go on these tirades, and I consider this the most valuable information that we could ever put out, everybody bails, man. So is it time to become a hype channel? I want your feedback on that. I want everybody's feedback. Is it time for us to simply become a hype channel? Because I got AI, bro. All right, I can do hype videos all day. I don't have to believe a goddamn word of it as long as I can make anybody else believe in it. This is your call to action. Please put it in the chat before we quit. Is it time for us to become a hype channel? We have a great production. We're very, very good at this. Is it more important to have asses in seats, or is it more important to put out valuable information on Sigia Cloud and just keep YouTube for the fun? You tell me. All right, the chat is open. Belle, carry on.
All right, so new type. Bitcoin is still a hedge in my opinion. Gold also sold off after PPI came out.
Yeah, and that one wasn't terribly exciting. Or I'm sorry, exciting. That one wasn't terribly unexpected, and if you actually do zoom out, you're going to see the same spikes. You can see the same dips. people go risk off, and occasionally they will go risk off into gold because so much of it is paper. But Bitcoin is experiencing the same thing now. There's so much paper Bitcoin. Do you honestly believe these ETFs are self-custodying? No, they're buying paper Bitcoin. My biggest concern, new type, with Bitcoin is simply a bank run. That's it. That's my biggest concern. We ran the hell out of this thing. All right, took it all the way down from 16K. I know everybody was there. I was there, and ran it up all the way up to Jesus. How high did it go yesterday? 123, 124. It was up. But with all of that, so much money pouring in, man. But we're buying paper now, and you gotta know it. You gotta know it. All right, the ethos, the very ethos of Bitcoin is dead. And even though you and I fundamentally disagree on some things, we very much agree on some other things. And I think you're going to back me up on this one. So you have to, like I said, you got to apply it, man. You're going to have to apply all of the trad principles that you know, that I know, that most of us know. And you're going to have to apply it to Bitcoin now, man, because the ethos of this is dead. So you're going to have to pretend that you're trading paper. Most of gold, a lot of gold, a great deal of gold is paper gold. You know it, I know it, we know it. So it's going to be susceptible to a lot of the same volatility of like a hot PPI number, a hot CPI. It's going to be doing the same thing. Zoom out, see if I'm wrong. Bell, carry on.
All right. So, Political, it's a destined staple. Everyone goes.
Never heard of it.
About the beans.
Yeah, I've never, dude, I can't have beans anymore, man. They're like pure carbohydrates. Look at me though, man. I'm looking better. Look at my tummy's gone. I can see my penis every time I look down. I'm like, hey, there it is, man. It's been a while. I'm just saying, it's been a while. So yeah, I can't have beans, man, but I'm gonna look into it anyway because I if you care about it, I want to care about it. Bell, carry on.
All right, so
where are they at on us being a hype channel? Because I would be such a good huckster, man. I am the new Richard Hart. I could absolutely do that.
For the love of God,
no, I'd kill it. I'd be so good at it. Come on,
no,
man. Look,
please.
I've lost weight. I look better up here. I'll shave the beard.
Hype up our app, not random bullshit tokens.
That's the way, though. That's the crypto way, and I'm starting to believe people just want it. That's it. They just want to be fooled. They want to be shellacked. Go, Bell.
All right, so Divergent Dan, pump it up. You gotta pump it up. Fisherman, do what you vibe, just have fun with it. That energy is contagious. Top Cat, thank God there's someone else who agrees with me.
Because I got two people saying hype it up, man. Yeah, I'm there, dude. I could do this so well.
Stay with truth. Have some fun doing it.
Oh, I have fun. I love what we're doing right now. And Top Cat, bless your heart. You've been with us so long. Yeah, and this is what I like to do. But it simply does not resonate with big audience, man. It just doesn't work. They don't want to hear an old guy like me sit here and laying down absolute truth and fact, man. Crypto is about the myth of rich overnight. So do we lean into it to make big audiences and really, really generate a lot of discussion? I don't think you guys, I'm talking to our core audience right now. I don't think you guys understand the value that you would bring to something like that. Because you could fuck with them to the nth level because you guys know the difference. You've been with us a long time. I'm not teaching you anything. You know exactly what I'm going to say, and you know exactly why I'm going to say it. But imagine if we could bring you 80 or 100 or 200 people on a live stream, how much fun you could have with that. Just looking at the comments and just ripping the soul out of them. You're all, what was that guy's name? In Temple of Doom. What was the guy's name? The bad guy with the horns that'll pull your heart out. That would be you guys. Every single member of our core audience would be up there going Mullah Ron on them. Just, I'm not your boy, I'm not your boy. As you just rip their hearts out and hold it to them, watch them beating.
I mean, Shere Khan also ripped people's souls out. So.
Or you could be, Shere Khan, yeah. Or from Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Lord Marshal. You just go, I'll take your soul and just pull it out, man. That would be so. I'm trying to make it entertaining for you guys too, man. Anything we got to do. Go, Bell. Let's finish it up.
All right, so Fisherman, I've enjoyed a lot of the different flavors the show has had.
Mhm.
I liked the education stuff y'all had going a while back.
And I like doing the education stuff, man. It's important. All right, it's important, and I can help. All I'm doing, man. Look, this is not me dreaming it up. This is just fact that we put out when we do the educational stuff, man. It is fact check. It is historically accurate. This is econ. We're talking Adam Smith level economics. All we're doing is putting out the absolute rational, reasonable truth. Now, is it always correct? Markets are irrational. I think anybody can attest to that. And they're going to stay irrational a lot longer than you're going to stay solvent. It's a tough business that we're in over here. So, yeah, I enjoy it, man, but it does not resonate. And we have never, ever, ever, except for one single stream, a long time ago when we were interviewing a guy named Eli Noto. You remember him?
I do.
And we had 350 people on a live stream. That was the happiest moment of my life. And it was so far back. Nobody even remembers that thing even occurred. But we had 350 plus people on a live stream. The chat, you couldn't even keep up with it. It was just boom, 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 boom. So I'd love to get back to that just one time.
I remember it, and we're also still getting crap for, the mics not being muted during the commercial break.
That was so many fucking years ago. Yeah, we've cleaned it up. Obviously, it was a little bit early in our craft, but we've cleaned it up. And the people that we brought on were actually phone-in callers because we're equipped to take. We're a radio show, man. So yeah, we were equipped to take phone-in callers at that time to talk directly with the guests. But yeah, we've it ain't worth the cost right now. When we get 500 people on a live stream, we'll turn the phone lines back on. You want to talk to me directly? Give me a call, and we'll do it that way. But anyway, go ahead, carry on.
All right, so new type. It's just hard agreeing there, Scott. Back in 2023, do you remember Silverbank? First Republic and Silicon Valley Bank?
I remember SVB, bro. How can you not remember that one, man? That was like that was like a great big ass domino that set off that reaction.
And he says they all had bank runs, which started Bitcoin's revival.
Yep. But new type. Would you trust it now? That's the kicker, man. Look, what happened back then? And yeah, you bet your ass I remember SVB. I remember all these things. We always say SVB because that was the big one, man, but that was just the first. 3 more collapsed right after that because they all lever against each other. So would you trust that now? The most important tool that you can have in your trading arsenal is pragmatism. That I've never backed off from that. You got to believe your eyes. Not what you know for an absolute fact. That simply is not true. Because that's what gets you destroyed out here. But you have to go in there assuming that you know nothing and simply believe your eyes and apply basic econ. And we're not talking econ 101, man. We are talking econ 0. You apply basic econ to what you're seeing, and I think you're going to do okay out here. It's tough market, man. But yeah, I remember all that, bro. Go ahead, Mel.
All right, so new type. Why not both? Talking about our content.
Doing hype and all that stuff. You know what? I like doing segments like this. It's a lot of fun because I get to break it up, and it's like it's a new show every time. We play a song, we come back, we're doing a new show. So I like breaking it up like that. We could do a hype kind of thing. I think it'd be fun, man. We never have. Bell ain't gonna let me, man, but I can go rogue. I can hit go live anytime I want. I mean, it's a studio, man. There's nothing stopping me from doing that. So I can go live anytime I want. And it might be fun just to do the hype. Let me tell you about Remit Ticks. Remember, we even did a video on that yesterday.
Yeah,
Jason hadn't released it yet, but you're going to be seeing it. So, yeah, man, there's nothing. We can maybe do both. I'll consider it. Bell, carry on.
All right. So, Top Cat, Temple of Doom, close second to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I like Temple of Doom. I really like Temple of Doom, because in Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones was actually relevant. But in Raiders of the Lost Ark, I didn't realize it until that Big Bang Theory episode. Indiana Jones played no part in that movie. If he was not in it, it would have ended up the exact same way. Nothing would have changed. But that's not the case with Temple of Doom. He had some relevancy in that one.
That's what, season 6 of Big Bang Theory,
Oh,
where
I don't
that's
know.
discussed?
But it never occurred to me until I watched that damn Big Bang Theory episode, and then I was like, oh yeah, he played no part in it. He never got anything. I mean, even the head right at the very beginning, he didn't walk away with that. He walked away with his life, but not what he was after. God, I'm such a geek. Go ahead, Belle, man. Let's lighten you around and let's get out of here.
All right, so new type. Bitcoin was made so that we don't have to trust. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. And that's true, man. But ask yourself this. Just do the math, bro. How many Bitcoin exist and what's the Bitcoin market valuation? That's all you got to do. And if the market valuation, the overall valuation of Bitcoin based on how many exist in the current price, if the valuation is higher, then we have paper Bitcoin. I mean, that's it. Occam's razor. Perfect. And if it is, how much do you trust the paper Bitcoin? How much do you trust traditional finance to do the right thing? Because history has shown that they absolutely will not, ever, not in any scenario have they done the right thing. Anyway, go, Belle.
All right, last one coming in from G Torres. Maybe hype for most shorts?
You know what? I'll tell you what, Jason. If you're listening, bro, give me 3 of them tomorrow. All right, I want to hit the Trump-Putin summit. All right, I'm news, hard news, and opinion editorial, man. We've been doing this our whole life. But let's try a couple hypes. Find out what's hot. Do the Google search trends in crypto. See which ones they're talking about, which ones are flying, and let me do it. All right, I don't care what it is. It's irrelevant to me. Let's put one out. Let's see how many hits we get on it, man. Why not? Why not? The more people we get over here, the more fun our crowd is going to have.
You know, you can utilize CoinGecko for the same thing, right?
Yeah, but I don't have to do any of this. I pay Jason now. I got a guy for this. You want to do it, Belle? Look at her. You see the look? No, she don't want to do that. She likes to do hard news and editorial opinion with me as well. So, yeah, look, I had a wonderful time. I'm going to go to a separate screen. Don't leave. Me and Belle are going to trade chairs. She's going to talk us up. She's going to talk us out. I had a wonderful time tonight, guys. I sure hope you did too. So are you ready, Belle? Push the microphone away. We're going to flip the screen. Belle's going to take the...
All right, again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you send our way. Now, with that being said, we are talking about having movie night on Omniflix TV on Saturday.
Yeah, I'd like
at
that.
6 p.m. Central Standard. And our next live stream on YouTube is going to be at 7 p.m. Central Standard on Monday. In between now and then, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, Scott@thepodcast.com, or Bella@thepodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you next time.
You got to push that button right there, the end show button. We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at The Podcasts. Also, visit our page at thepodcast.com, all one word, for all of our most